Hello, everybody. It's me, Colton Johnson, with Empty Popcorn Bucket Productions. Before I drive over to the theater to see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, let me talk about the first movie. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite Halloween movies. It is directed by Tim Burton, and it stars Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Alec Baldwin, Catherine O'Hara, among a few other great actors and actresses. This movie has a fun, spooky nature to it, lovable characters, great soundtrack from Danny Elfman, and I think Michael Keaton's performance is one of his best, and I think his performance in this movie is better than his Batman's performance. This movie is just such a fun movie to watch, and I turn it on every year around the Halloween season. So, join me as I travel to the theater for an early screening of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Alright, now we're going to go to the movie theaters. I always do my before thoughts of the movie I'm going to see today. Like mentioned previous, is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. One thing I did want to mention that I didn't mention previously was, so the first movie is called Beetlejuice. And though every moment that Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice is on screen, it's brilliant, but I feel like it lacks Beetlejuice. So one expectation I hope for this film is that Beetlejuice, it has more of a role, and it's not just focused on the other characters. Not saying the other characters are wrong. I'm excited to see Jenna Ortega and her role. I'm excited to see all the other casting choices, but I want to see more Beetlejuice. It's called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, so yeah, I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun, and you can see me after the movie. Alright, it's time for my out of theater reaction of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. I felt like this movie was pretty fun and exciting. It did exceed my expectations, and I'm glad that Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice was a main player rather than only in like 15 minutes of the movie. I thought the other actors in this film were pretty standout. There was a few plot things, but I'll dive into that in a second. But overall, I thought it was a pretty solid movie. So I'll see you in a second where I'll talk more about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Alright, where do I begin? So, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice was a fun time. I very much enjoyed it. It's one of those movies to me that I didn't need to take it too seriously, and it honestly exceeded my expectations. My expectations for this wasn't super high, and I expected it to be more of a rehash of the original Beetlejuice, but I had some expectations, and I'm grateful they met those expectations. I mentioned previously of having more Beetlejuice in the Beetlejuice movie, because Beetlejuice is what makes these movies so much fun. Michael Keaton's performance is brilliant, and he just adds so much layers to this fun character. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton, starring Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, William Dafoe, and a full cast of characters. I felt like the main group of actors I thought were incredible. Winona Ryder comes back, and it's just so much fun to see her in a role like this. She's in Stranger Things, and it's cool to see her go back to an old character and bring it back to life. I felt like it was fun to see a different side of Catherine O'Hara's character. She is the stepmom to Lydia Dietz, and it was fun to see how she played a role in the film. Jenna Ortega also did phenomenal in this film. I've really enjoyed seeing her in other projects like Wednesday. She's great in the Scream movies. I thought she did very well in this movie. Kind of fits her vibe. She was in Wednesday, which that's directed by Tim Burton, so it all works out. And then to cap it all off, Michael Keaton was phenomenal in this film, and it's just so fun. He's such a character actor, but not in the way that you'd expect him to be. He plays Batman, he plays the Vulture, and this character is one of the key characters that he plays, and he just has so much like rhythm to it, and it's just so fun seeing him light up in this character. And the one thing I could say about all the people in the cast is they just had a good time making this movie. It's definitely one of those movies that are, I'd say, more geared towards the fans, and I feel like it executed that pretty well. One of the things that I thought was super fun is how they included the dad character in this film. I thought it was just going to be a one-off. They killed him off, but there's a few gags that they play off of, and I don't know if that's just because the actor who originally played him is problematic or anything. I'll have to look more into that, but I thought that it was brilliant, and I thought it was very funny. One of the things that I can say is there's a lot of plot threads and all that stuff that can get a little messy, and a lot of things that I feel like just either ended up not really playing off well, or they kind of just ended up very quickly. But I feel like this movie was more so to have fun, and I didn't think the story was super compelling, but that's okay. I had a really good time watching it, and there's some very funny moments. And I felt like the references and callbacks to the original Beetlejuice was a lot of fun, and I had a good time with a lot of it. So back to the plot, I just felt like the movie kind of starts off a little slow, and it leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to certain plot things. Like, it kind of jumps into it a little bit, but not to the extent that is satisfying. And I'm not saying this movie's not satisfying any means. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things in the film that aren't satisfying. But it is all saved thanks to the wonderful performances, the wonderful soundtrack, and the spectacle of the scenes, and the set design I thought was pretty brilliant. Tim Burton has this particular style, and it definitely screams Tim Burton, especially having that Danny Elfman score. He's one of my favorite composers just because he's so quirky and has such a distinct feel that, like, it always connects to Tim Burton. They're like buddies, I think. I mean, I would hope so, because they work together a lot. So overall, I feel like this movie was either I'd say it's like a 3 out of 5. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it was pretty good. I don't think it was great by any means, but it's definitely a fun Halloween movie that you could go see in theaters, because it's still very entertaining to watch, and there's a lot of fun moments. Yeah, I won't spoil anything, because I'd like you to go see it and see it for yourself. I'd like to know what you think, and be sure to go check out my other videos. I have more reviews on the way. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe. My new goal for the month of September is 175. I was able to hit my goal for 150 for the month of August, so let's see if we can get 175. So have a wonderful day, and bye. Wait, before I go, I can't forget my other channel. Go subscribe to Colton's E-Ticket Adventures. Here's kind of the logo. I'll be creating a new video that will be released this Saturday, so be sure to check that out. It will be my video on my favorite rides at California Adventure. So now I can officially say bye.